Hey guys, David Johnston here. This is day 33 of PegNet, DeFi, and crypto talks that I've been doing. And today I'm excited to talk about PegNet 2.0. There's been a bunch of updates, but I think we're at the final version of what features are going to be included in PegNet 2.0. The next time I do a video, I hope to be announcing the activation height for PegNet 2.0. So hopefully probably Monday of next week, the developers are talking about picking an activation height. And that'll mean that all the miners, all the exchanges, all the wallet providers will need to update their software so that they'll be ready to run PegNet 2.0 when it goes live. In the past, we've typically had about 10 days, 2 weeks at the most, as far as time between announcement and an activation height. And this just gives everybody enough time to update their software, right? People are in different time zones, people have different development schedules, but it's pretty easy to update to the latest version. So it's not a heavy lift for a lot of these exchanges. Miners just want to give everybody enough of a heads up. So this is the heads up before the heads up. If you're planning or need to upgrade to PegNet 2.0, now remember, users don't have to do anything, but miners that are solo mining, exchanges, anybody running a PegNet wallet, any PegNet infrastructure will need to update their node. So it'll be at the same GitHub repo as last time. I'm sure it'll be blasted out all over the place, because when you pick an activation height, that means the software is ready. It's been wrapped up, it's got an install package, it's got some documentation, updated the wiki, that kind of stuff, and people can start downloading the new version before the activation height. So let's back up for a second and remind everybody about what's coming in PegNet 2.0. The biggest thing for me is the staking, both of pAssets like PUSD, PBTC, PETH, but also the staking of Peg. And so those that are staking Peg will now be Oracle providers, just like the miners are today. And the software will take both the prices from the miners and from the stakers and create a median price, and that will be the block price each block. So every 10 minutes, there'll be prices coming in from miners, prices coming in from stakers, and together you get the median price for that block for all of the assets. It's worth noting that there's a bunch of new pAssets coming. The list is pretty much close to final, but Argentinian peso, there's a number of African currencies that are getting added, as well as a lot of crypto projects like Algorand and Hedera, and others that aren't in there yet will now have their own pAsset. So for anybody in those communities, that's really exciting. I'm sure there'll be announcements about each of the tokens that's getting added as part of PegNet 2.0. So got the staking coming, pAssets and Peg. That's great. Got new pAsset types, new assets that will be added to the network. And then there's all the upgrades around the oracles. The ways that the prices are secured is getting much improved. I mean, we're talking a lot of robust additions to the features of the oracles. So we already talked about the fact that it won't just be miners anymore, but stakers will also be able to confirm the oracle prices. That's a big improvement and really sort of pushes us towards a mining and staking model hybrid that comes to consensus on those prices. And that makes us much stronger, makes PegNet a lot stronger against 51% attacks, against one miner or somebody that gets hacked and provides bad data. Now it will spread out the oracles amongst a larger and larger group of people that are all incentivized to see the success of PegNet, because the stakers are all holding Peg, right? So their incentives are really well aligned. So I'm excited about those Oracle updates. You guys might have seen the list of PegNet improvement proposals and all the ones that have been included in the previous versions of the PegNet 2.0 design. The only pip that's looks like it won't make it is probably pip 10. The averaging is being substituted instead for this median approach. So instead of averaging prices over multiple blocks, to go for this median approach that's combining the different Oracle sources was seen as a better solution. So That's not getting included, but all the other pips that we talked about have made it into effectively what I think will probably be the final version. It's up to the developers, but it seems to be really coming together now. They're doing daily stand-ups and have it really down to the last few things that they need to include in the update. So really excited for that. So again, what we're coming up on is the announcement of the activation height, and everybody updates their software, and then PegNet 2.0 goes live. So again, just to remind people why some of these things are so important is because PegNet really was the first project to do consensus-based oracles, real fully decentralized consensus-based oracles. And that was great. We got miners and oracles, but the system needs other things in order to function. It needs arbitrage, it needs liquidity. And that's effectively what these new block rewards are doing, are adding a reason for people to hold pAssets, to buy them off the networks, buy them off the exchanges when they're cheap, and also a reason for people to buy and hold Peg, so they can report the prices, get the reward, and that adds liquidity to the network. So I'm a big believer, and I've talked about this in previous videos, you only get what you pay for. And PegNet started by paying for oracles, and it got oracles. But the system to succeed really also needs liquidity. It needs people doing that arbitrage function. And it also needs developers. I think we talked about in a previous video, PIP 16, which is the reward for developers that add improvements to PegNet, is being included as well. So the final numbers, it looks like, will be the 9,000 peg per block for miners, 9,000 peg per block for stakers, half for the peg stakers, half for the pAsset stakers, and then 2,000 peg per block for developers. So that gives us a reward for mining, for staking, for liquidity, for arbitrage, and for development of the code. And I think this is a really balanced approach to take us forward for a very long time. We ought to be very careful and considerate about whenever you update the economics or update the incentive structures in any crypto project. And I think the community's done an awesome job of kind of debating this over months, trying to figure out what's most important, how to balance and prioritize that. And I'm really happy with the balance that's come out. And it still preserves sort of the approach that PegNet takes, where there's no centralized entities. The dev reward will be directed by the people running the Peg software. And so they'll have addresses in there they can direct to different developers that are working on different things, maybe PegNet improvement proposals, supporting work on the Explorer, on the wallets, all the infrastructure in the ecosystem. That'll be an individual choice of the Peg stakers. And so you don't have to wait for some central entity to decide that, oh, we really need to improve the Explorer. You can just act as a Peg holder to send resources towards that. So I really like that decentralized approach. And it's kept it to the individual as opposed to centralizing it into a foundation or some other structure. So a lot of stuff coming as part of PegNet 2. Just wanted to jump on here real quick, give you guys a quick update. I'll be updating my Medium article after having talked to the devs about the final version, and get that posted. And hopefully next week, we'll see the announcement about the activation height. So getting close. Thanks for all your support. Tons of people have been testing out the wallets, the beta for P-Wallet and P-Trader, all of that. Thanks for all the feedback that you've sent. Also want to thank Smart Valor. I saw recently listed Peg, and it's really cool because they have rails into fiat currencies like dollars, euros, francs, and pounds. So most of the major Western currencies now you can get into Peg, and they're supporting the ERC20 version, so you can use it in any Ethereum wallet or Ethereum infrastructure. So really cool to see that gaining traction. Awesome to see sort of the whole community coming together, different projects supporting PegNet and what it's doing with DeFi, with stablecoins, with pegged assets. So anyway, I'll call it there. Thanks everybody for your hard work and everything you're doing for the community. I'll see you guys soon, and take care. Remember, be kind to one another, wear a mask, and crypto on. Bye.